Double standard. When you talk the word, like when you think of double standard, you think about people who have the right to use certain offensive things and getting away with it, where others, if they use it, they're deemed, either racist, hateful, or whatever. Like, in other words, you got, let's say, a gay person call another gay person a faggot, but a heterosexual were to call somebody a faggot, they get protested, they get marched on, they're considered a hateful person, and all these type of things. So, you have movies. I saw a movie the other day from the Wayans brothers. Don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice or whatever. It was very, 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 very stereotypical, and that's what they were going for. They wanted that exaggerated stereotype of how a black man in his everyday life live in the hood. And if a white person made that movie with white people and doing that, depicting black people in that way, how would it be received? There was a scene in that movie where the Wayans brothers walked into a Korean store, and usually when you open up the door, a bell will go off announcing to the store owner that someone entered the premises. So what they decided to do was have the bell, instead of a chime, would announce niggers. Now, if a white person like Quentin Tarantino was to do something like that, would you think that it would go over well? I don't think so. That and when you think about these rappers, you have rappers that use offensive language in their lyrics all the time. You have rappers that use the N-word and bitches and hoes and all this other stuff, and nothing is said about it. But if Eminem uses the N-word, people start having discussions about whether he has the right to do that. But nobody black talks about how black people should refrain from using these words and stuff like that. So if it's good for one group but not good for another, it can cause problems. So now the question is, should Tekashi 69 or 6ix9ine be using the word nigger in his lyrics? The guy is Puerto Rican from Brooklyn, New York, and he shouts the word nigger a lot. Is that right? Me personally, I try my best to not use the word nigger, because I've seen that movie Birth of a Nation. I've seen other movies as well when it comes to slavery and the depiction of black people during the time of slavery and stuff like that, and it's very sad. So I try not to use that word nigga because it really affected me watching that movie. And when I see Tekashi use it, I see it in the context that he's using it, and in the form of rap. It is what it is. But when people start Charlamagne from The Breakfast Club, he was basically asking, should Tekashi have the right to use the word nigga? Even though he's Puerto Rican, it just doesn't sound right and it shouldn't be right that he uses the word nigga. As a rapper, everyone is doing it, I don't think that you can single out certain groups of people that are doing that genre of music that uses that word in that genre. He's not using the ER context of that word. He's using the A at the end. Nigga. My nigga. Or, whenever he's using that word, whenever he plugs that word into his lyrics, it's with an A, not an ER. So, where Quentin Tarantino is using that word in his movies, and Spike Lee getting all crazy about him using it, and then other black actors and actresses are using that word, it just it's really a lot of I can use it but you can't use it, and that's just the way it is.